Habari, Ghani tribe. Happy wind down Wednesday. Listen, your girl is tired. I don't even think tired is the right word. Tired is an absolute understatement. I literally got in the house. I got relaxed. I read a few comments. If you guys are present, I see that the numbers are growing. Definitely give a hello. Definitely put some hearts across the screen. Let me know that you're here, that you're tuning in, that you're present, and that you are excited about Wine Down Wednesday. I see Monica has her wine glass. Monica's like, cheers. It is officially Wine Down Wednesday. And so let me tell you guys, I got in the house. I feel like right now I look absolutely crazy. I started unpinning my hair. I started like getting the lather ready to wash my face. And as soon as like I lifted up my edges, right? I washed out the gots to be glued. As soon as I washed out my edges and had like the lather ready to wash my face, I was like, I'm supposed to be live in 5 minutes. And so I think actually recording at home versus recording in the store kind of threw me off. Like it threw me off for a loop. I thought I was getting ready for bed, but I'm not. I am strictly here to entertain you guys for the next 20 to 30 minutes. And so I have my glass, right? I have it raised. You guys, I was removing nail polish. Listen, in my head, the day was over. For those of you guys that are tuning in for the very first time, welcome to Wind Down Wednesday. My name is Angie DeGante. I'm the owner of Accent Styles Boutique. I'm located in Tampa, Florida, at 2742 North Florida Avenue. We are a beautiful, authentic East African boutique that specializes in giving back. And so a percentage of every single sale goes towards sending kids in Kenya to school. And so you can literally look us up under Accent Styles Boutique on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on any of these major platforms, even Twitter, although it's not listed. If you like any of the accessories that I'm wearing tonight, you can definitely check us out at accentstylesboutique.com and explore all of our beautiful, authentic East African accessories and clothing. And so right now, I feel like the site is rather low. We don't have as many things on the site that we have in the store right now. And that's just strictly because like I've been very occupied. I think that's a nice way to say lazy. I've been quite lazy and I need to update the website. And so definitely check it out. If it says sold out, feel free to send me a message, send me an inbox, send me an email, say, hey, I seen this accessory. I would really like to have it. Is it available in store? Or is there an alternative way that I can get it shipped to me? And we will figure it out together. And so, it is Wine Down Wednesday. And so, I want to get all up in your business. I'm super curious. How do you guys wind down? So, how do you relax? How do you remove the stress of the day? For me, my first step is washing my face, taking off my pants. No, as soon as I come through the door, I remove my pants. That is my signature move. I have to take off my pants. I have to take off my makeup. I have to get relaxed. And so, how do you guys wind down after a long day of work? I would love to hear about it. I would love to know how you guys are relaxing in your authentic selves. So, I'm going to take a few sips from my glass while I give you guys some time to type. My cup literally says life happens, wine helps. And so wine is going to help me through this process today because your girl is tired. And so I see you guys are typing. I'm giving you guys some time. Let me pull it up on my phone too because there are some platforms that aren't connecting. And so I want to be able to read and see how you guys are winding down on a Wednesday. Do you guys remember that song, like It's Going Up on a Tuesday? Okay, so Monica says, wind down with a glass of delicious wine, right? I can literally imagine Monica winding down with wine. I feel like her wine probably is not like mine, right? I feel like I'm a convenience drinker, especially on Wednesday. Like, what do I have in my cabinet? But I feel like when Monica reaches for a glass of wine, she considers like the grape and the region and which notes she would like to indulge in, if she would like them to be more citrusy or more chocolate felt. I feel like she really thinks it out and has like an entire process of how she is having wine. But as for me, I'm kind of just like going for what I know. So I know that some of you guys were super duper curious about the Dillard's event. So there was a Dillard's private shop fashion experience this past Saturday, where I was so lucky and so blessed to attend. It was absolutely beautiful. It was hosted by none other than Kiva Williams. Monica said you are 100% correct. I think that's in reference to how she thinks about her wine before she picks it. And so, you guys, I had the opportunity to go to this Dillard's private shop fashion experience. And so it was absolutely beautiful. It was hosted by none other than Kiva. I want to say her last name is Williams. I really have to stop doing that. I feel like deep down inside that I can start name dropping and saying last names and first names, and sometimes your girl messes it up. And so I'm just gonna say Kiva. She hosted this event where Dillard's opened their doors to a select amount of private shoppers, and allowed them to indulge in sponsored participation. That they were giving out tickets to, what was the place? Tickets to Busch Gardens, tickets to SeaWorld. They were giving out private shop experience, private shop advice, all of these beautiful, beautiful things. And so I felt really lucky to be able to take advantage of it. I'm sure that you guys seen on Facebook and on Instagram that I posted this beautiful, beautiful bouquet of flowers, that I was so lucky enough to win. I literally won raffle after raffle after raffle. And I feel like the girlies were in their feelings, right? They were definitely in their feelings, but favor is not fair. And so I felt absolutely no type of way about winning. Eventually, I decided to give a few of my wins to people in the surrounding area, people that were nearby, because they were absolutely heartbroken that they were not winning. And so I felt bad. So I gave up a few of my wins. If you guys are curious, I'm looking down because I have my phone here. And so some of the streaming platforms, I'm not able to see everyone's comment. So I try to juggle the both of you guys. Monica said, I picked a Zinfandel today because I was feeling Spanish vibes, right? So Monica is in her Despacito era, right? So let me see. Monica said, how do you get invited to these events? Is it in your network? People speaking your names into rooms? You know what? Listen. So this is crazy that you even said this. So I also wanted to mention that I was most recently a part of the Bloom TV News interview, right? And this is not staged, you guys. These are authentic questions. I did not ask Monica to ask this. She did this all on her own, but it was definitely something that was on my heart to speak about. And so Monica's like, how do you get invited to these events? People literally inbox me and they're like, I seen you on the news. I see you at private events. I see you with, the NFL players. I see you with this person. I see you with people from the Bucks. I've seen you at Super Bowl. How do you get in these events? Is it in your network? And so I believe that number one, I do have a few beautiful people that are in my network that are able to invite me to these things. But most recently, I had people say, "Hey, I seen that you were on the news. I've been trying to get on that show for a year. I've been trying back to back to get on the show, and so I really want to know how to do it. And congratulations to you." And so that was just a long version of saying that I have literally never sought these events out. I literally feel like I'm the sought out daughter in this season. That people are literally speaking my names into rooms. I literally go places and people are like, "Oh, you're Angie. I've heard about you," or "You're the owner of Accent Styles. I've heard about your orphanage," or "I've heard about your products," or "I've heard about this, this, and this." And so it feels absolutely beautiful for my name to be entering rooms before I ever enter into them. And so the short version is it's in my network, but my name is entering rooms before I ever enter them. And so I literally had my interview 2 days ago with Bloom TV. It was absolutely adorable. I was in my pajamas. We talked about healthy food at a slumber party. We talked about some of my slumber party events that I host in Kenya with the orphans. And so it was really light. I love that I got to showcase my personality and more of my bubbly side. I didn't just have to talk about my business, but I got to talk about things that I personally enjoyed. And so it was lots of fun. But also, right, Monica, let me add this. Also, before I even ended the interview for Bloom TV, like by the time it aired, I had 2 or 3 emails like, hey, we seen you on Bloom TV. We'd like to interview you on this date, this date, this date. And so my God is a beautiful God. He's an awesome God. And so literally door after door is beginning to open. And I'm so grateful. And so I don't go looking for these events. I never apply for these events. I've never sent a media release form or email like, hey, I would like to share my story. I've literally feel blessed that I've never had to do that. People just literally look for me, and it's a beautiful feeling. Monica said, keep up the great work. SCK said, amen, right? Amen and amen. And Mr. Pineapple said, doors open for the chosen, right? Favor is not fair. And so I love this new place where I am fully operating in all of my favor. I love that I don't downplay it. I love that I don't shy it down. I love that I don't feel bad when I am coasting in his glory. And so I know that for a very long time, I always felt like extremely guilty, or I felt like, why me? Why not someone else? And I think that it wasn't necessarily like a pity party or any of those. I just really wanted to see other people win as much as I was winning. And so I think that the way that I do that is by sharing the tips of consistency and the ways that I feel like have attributed, even outside of favor, for me being sought out. I feel like you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And so I am consistently on top of my business, consistently on top of my brand. And so that kind of like makes me segue to the marketing tips of how to get organized, right? So, one of the many ways that I feel like my business is consistently sought after and consistently respected is because I am consistent. And so I feel like I consistently use consistent in every verb text. I did that, like, no pun intended. Um, and so by posting regularly, by staying on top of my business, by making sure that I open during my business hours, making sure that I don't close before I'm supposed to close, making sure that my website is effective, making sure that my Wi-Fi, my internet, all these things are operating. My business is operating like a business and not like a side hustle. And so one of the ways that I've done that, I'll share a tip, is my marketing tip for tonight is how to get organized. And so I really love this program called Asana, right? Reminds you of Asante, which means thank you in Swahili. But I use this app called Asana. And so Asana allows me to organize my days. It allows me to organize my tasks for my employees. It allows me to organize my tasks for my teammates that are in Kenya. And so let me explain like majority of how this works. So I go to Asana. I'm able to create a task list for my employees. I'm able to say, hello, Alayla, I would like for you to clean the store, right? Something random without making it too difficult. I would like for you to clean the store before the store opens. And so under that task, I'm literally able to give off checkoff lists. I'm able to give bullet points. I would like for you to sweep. I would like for you to tell Alexa to play our favorite song. I would like for you to spray the air freshener. I would like for you to wipe down the counters. Like, it literally allows me to give a checklist. And so it allows me to list task after task after task. And so not only do I get to give her these responsibilities without having to be on her back, but I'm able to list these responsibilities and give them a deadline. And so she never has to worry about when I want her to do it or when it needs to be done. I can literally go to Asana, give her task, and say, today is Wednesday. I want you to have the store finished by Thursday. And so she never has to look over her back. She never has to worry about, is Angie upset that I'm sitting down? Now, Angie might be upset when the deadline hits if you haven't completed the task that I asked you to complete. But you have lots of wiggle room in between that time. And so I absolutely love Asana. Asana is not paying for me to talk about this. As you see, I didn't include any links, any promo codes for Asana. I'm like, go over to Asana, check her out for yourself, and take your business to the next level. And so, just to bring it full circle, a lot of people are curious about how do you get on, the news network? How are you able to expand so quickly? How are you able to thrive in your business? How are you able to get all of this publicity, all of this marketing, all of this media and press time? And I literally think it is remaining professional in your business, staying on top of your business, and making sure that you are dotting all of your I's, crossing out all of your T's, and just like staying organized in your business again, right? I feel like a broken clock, like I am repeating myself. But you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And so Monica said, I use Asana. Monica, what are you using Asana for? Is it for your business or your personal use? Um, Let me tell you guys, I literally use Asana for everything. I use it for the kids and their chores. I use it for my daily tasks, like my to-do list. Um, I use it to restructure, like, what am I doing in Kenya, to like let people know everything that is going on. It is literally like a lifesaver. It allows me to keep my life on track, my business on track, my personal life on track. And so everything feels like I can check boxes. I'm a box checker. I think that has slowly but surely become a part of my personality where I feel fulfilled when I'm checking off boxes. And so Artesia said, sounds great. So Monica uses it for personal. I need to get my book done. Yes, listen, you need to get your book done. The personal aspect is amazing. I think it's good. Like, it's a good accountability without forcing others to do that for you. The best accountability to me is yourself. And so we talked about the Dillard's private event and Kiva. And so for those of you guys, let me just do a soft plug. For those of you guys that are interested in actually getting on the air, you're like, I'm having a hard time doing this organically. Definitely reach out to Kiva. I want to say that her last name is Williams, but I'm going to go ahead and tag her because I feel like I'm butchering. I'm going to tag her in the comments. I feel like she would be the perfect person to help you guys get on air if that's your desire, the perfect person to help you take your media and your press to the next level. So I am going to tag her in the comments. That way you can hit sis up and let her know that you're interested. And so let me dive into Bloom TV, right? I never really had the intention of talking about this, but now that I'm here, now that I'm in this vein, I might as well share. I think that you guys should prepare yourself for the people that are eagerly excited or super diligent about making their way on the news and making their way on the air. I want you guys to think of all the things that are important to you in your business and the things that you want to share about your business, and to make sure that you are not hampered or boxed in or closed in when it comes to those things. Um, I have personally never experienced being boxed into a extreme magnitude. I'm pretty vocal. I typically say the things that are important to me. I usually say what's on my heart. I am always authentically me. And I love that, right? I'm absolutely fearless when it comes to that. But I know a lot of times when you go on these interview TV shows or these broadcastings, they kind of like give you the words to say. They kind of want you to tailor your tongue in a certain way. And so I am not that girl. And if you are not that girl, then you might want to choose the TV show that you go on wisely, or have that conversation with them prior. Like, hey, this is my brand, this is my business. I'm super pro black. I am blackity black, black, black. I am black 700 days a year, right? It's not even 700 days in a year, but that's how black I am. And so anyone that invites me on their TV show, I'm always going to talk about all things Africa. I'm always going to talk about appreciation over appropriation. I'm always going to have those hard, uncomfortable conversations. And so if you're one of those people where you're like, this is who I am, take me as I am, take it or leave it, then really consider, like, before you go on a news interview, is this something that someone can change my mind about speaking about. If so, you might just want to start off like on a podcast, start your own series and talk about the things that are near and dear to you without them being tailored. And so, ta-da! I don't know who that one was for. I just had to get it off my chest. I wanted to, I had to feel like, I felt like it was on me to say to someone. And so I said it. So we talked about the marketing tips. We talked about the dealers event. We talked about Asana, which is my favorite. And you guys, if you're struggling with like the marketing experience and you're like, hey, Angie, I've noticed that you are always in my algorithm and I have no idea how you do it, but I too would love to learn how to do it. Definitely go to Patreon, check out Marketing Essentials with Angie. I will be sure to add that in the comments later this evening as well. But I have a Patreon course. We literally have courses as low as $30 a month. And so for those people that are like, oh, okay, $30 a month, right? That's too much. It's literally like $1 a day. Who doesn't have a, well, I shouldn't say who doesn't have $1 a day, but many of us in business and out of business, or many of us that are employed, we have $1 a day. We literally spend more than $30 at happy hour, more than $30 on food, more than $30 just loosely. And so definitely go to Patreon, check out Marketing Essentials with Ange, and sign up to take your business to the next level virtually, digitally, and on these social platforms that are oh so important in 2023. And I promise you, they'll be even more important in 2024. And so, if you're struggling with your social media platform, definitely sign up for Marketing Essentials with Angie on Patreon. Let's see what Monica has to say. Monica said, yes, Angie, make sure the press is in alignment with you and your business. Not all press is good press, right? Listen. So I really think I want to vlog into detail because I've definitely had those moments where people have inquired or asked me to scale back, asked me to be less Black, asked me to be less pro Africa. People have literally asked me that. And I'm like, if that is what you want, you don't want me. And so immediately, like, I see them like, they tense up. They're kind of caught off guard that I've even said such a thing to them. But I can't do it. I have too many people watching me. If you guys had the opportunity to see the Bloom TV news interview that I posted, I think yesterday, I said a part of my nighttime routine is a bonnet, right? Because I felt like any sister all across America that would have been watching me prepare for bed would have said, where's your bonnet? Where's your satin pillowcase? Where's your headscarf? Where's your head wrap? And it's not to say that every Black woman in America does these things, but majority of us do. And so I say all of that to say, like, when you are on these things, when you're on press, all press is not good press, but you want to make sure that you are authentically you. You want to make sure that when you watch the playback, you are proud of the playback. You're excited to share it with your friends and family. It's not something that makes you feel sad, or you wish you said something else, or you wish you had tailored your words differently. Like, no. Every single time that I see myself on TV, every single time that I see an interview that is released, I'm like, that is me. Like, it feels like me, it sounds like me, it looks like me. Nothing is robotic, nothing is programmed. And so I absolutely love that I'm in this season where I can boldly give a no. Like, no, I'm not interested, or no, I would not like to be on your newscasting. I would not like to be a part of that. And so let's strengthen, right? Strengthen your vocal cords for like me. So like the next time you get ready to say it, you can just say it real bold. No. Like, my no game is so strong in this season. And so, even if yours is not strong, if your voice is shaking, if you crying, if you got tears rolling, as long as you say no and you mean it, it's a solid answer and stand on it. And so we had all this business talk, right? I know where you guys are here. You guys are here for story time, right? I know you guys live for the story times. And so before I dive into story time, let me let you guys know we do have a few upcoming events. I talked about the Pen Pal program. I talked about the Kenya 2023 tour coming up. It's very soon for a lot of people, but we also have Kenya 2024 coming up. If you guys are interested, send me an email, hit me in my DMs, hit me on my email, let me know, hey, I want to be a part of Kenya 2024 and I want all the deets. The buy-in starts in June. You're able to start paying for your placement. We give you 10 months to pay off your tour, and then you're able to explore and have all the adventures that you desire to have in East Africa with me. You don't have to do them alone. You can do them with me. And so Monica said, saying no typically leads to a better yes. You know what? I feel that in every single part of me. Saying no definitely leads to a better yes. And so there's always a bigger blessing, right? So you shouldn't be afraid to say no. I know that people, they are afraid to say no because of, what is it called? FOMO, the fear of missing out. People are living and dwelling in fear. They're like, well, if I say no, will I ever get this chance again? Yes, you will. You'll get another chance. And the next chance may be bigger. And so definitely exercise your power of no. I think I tell this story often, but I had someone come into my store and they were really rude and they wanted to buy a purse that I was selling in the boutique. And so, we had a bit of banter, it was back and forth, and she concluded her sentence with, you need this sell. And so I thought to myself, I said, I need water and I need Jesus, but I don't need your sell. And so I exercised my right of refusal and I gave sis a flat out no. You cannot buy the purse. You love the purse. You want the purse. No, you cannot have the purse. And so even outside of press, right? Even outside of these news interviews, exercise your no. Say it with your chest out. Say it while you're scared. Say it while your voice is cracking. But please, tafadali, I beg thee. I beg, I beg, I beg. Say no, right? Say no. And so it's time for story time. It's time for story time. I'm so excited because after I do story time and I finish my glass of wine, I typically have to get in my car and drive all the way home. Even though home is like 10 minutes from the store, but I have to drive all the way home. But tonight when I finish story time and I finish my glass of wine, I can literally waltz over to my couch and go to bed. Actually, I'm not going to bed. It's far too early. I still have to wash my face. I still have to shower. But you guys get the gist. I get to relax. And so I wanted to tell you guys, there's two stories. I should let you guys vote. Do you guys want to hear the story about the best friend breakup first? Or do you guys want to hear the story about Hospital Bay? So I'm going to need some engagement. I'm going to need you guys to type in the comments and let me know. Do you want to hear about Hospital Bay? Or do you want to hear about the best friend breakup? So, right, you guys can comment best friend breakup, or you guys can comment Hospital Bay. Not Monica already voted. Monica's like Hospital Bay, right? So listen. Okay. This one is interesting. What? So I said that I'm at my 30-minute mark. I'm going to make the story short, sweet, and as vivid as possible. So for story time tonight, we are talking about Hospital Bay. And so I told this story, I think like maybe some time ago on Instagram, but what the heck. So I happened to be running errands one day, and I'm running errands, I'm gathering gifts. It has to be centered around a holiday. Like maybe it's Christmas or Memorial Day or Labor Day, whatever it is, it's a holiday. And I'm moving leisurely, and I decide to go visit a friend at the hospital, right? Sounds like a normal day. Would you agree? Sounds like an absolutely beautiful day. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, life was good. And so I went to the hospital to visit a friend. The visit went extremely well. We were able to catch up and we hung out. and we had conversations. And so on my way walking out, I meet someone in the hallway, and the person is very sweet. They compliment my top. Um, they tell me how beautiful my blouse is. Of course, is Accent Styles Boutique, because me, anywhere I go, I'm wearing my brand. And so I'm branded out from head to toe. I have on the shirt, I have on the earrings, I have on the shoes. I'm dressed to the nines in Accent. And so he's giving lots of compliments, and I'm telling him where I got my accessories. I had to take a sip because what does the glass say? Life happens, wine helps. And so we're having like really good conversations, and he sounds like he's like Pan African. He really enjoys African culture. Um, and so he seemed like such a beautiful human overall. And so he asked me, like, why are you at the hospital? And I tell him that I am at the hospital checking on a friend. I'm doing what friends do, checking on them when they're down. And so I'm like, what are you doing at the hospital, sir? And so he tells me that, it was a big event. He was visiting a friend and blah, blah, blah. And he didn't really go into details what his friend was suffering from, or if his friend was sick, or if it was accidental, any of the details, right? Sir was very vague about what was his intentions at the hospital. And so the long story short is, like, we get ready to say goodbye, we exchange social media, we exchange Instagram and TikTok and all these things so he can follow me on my platforms. And so when I'm walking, he's walking this way, I'm walking that way. So we're about to leave each other and cross paths. And so as I'm walking towards him and he's walking away from me, someone greets him from behind me that will be facing him. So I'm not sure if I'm explaining this right. So I'm going this way, he's going this way, but someone is walking towards him. So the person that he's walking towards the person, they're meeting each other. And the person has balloons and they have gifts, and they tell him, "Congratulations on being a first-time dad." And I'm like, "What? Congratulations on being a first-time dad." Right? This guy told me he was here to visit his friend. His friend had an encounter, all of these things, but he never mentioned that the friend was his baby mother and that the big event was she had his baby. Anybody else looking off into their invisible camera? Like, typically in these moments, I look away, I look at my invisible camera, but I feel like since you guys are here, I can just make eye contact. Like, I cannot make things like this up. I cannot. Let's see. Monica's like, that is crazy. Listen. So I'm frozen. Like, I freeze, and I'm like stunned. I'm like, what? Like, so I turn around. The curiosity in me cannot let it go that this gentleman that I've just met at the hospital that tells me that he's visiting a friend is in fact here to sign a birth certificate. So they're having their conversations, and I turn, and his friend asks, "Can we help you? Can you help me? Can you help me?" Right? Can you help me? No, you cannot help me. I need him to help me. I need him to explain, right? Clean up my ears because I needed to hear. I'm living back in time right now. Like, I need him to explain, you know, what is going on so I can congratulate him as well. And so I didn't necessarily make a scene. I just walked over and I was like, "Congratulations." And he told her that, this is someone that I just had a small conversation with in the hallway. And I'm like, someone that you had a small conversation with, someone that you exchanged numbers with, someone that you wanted to contact later with different intentions. And so, yeah, that is the story of Hospital Bay. Because even to this day, like, I still get baffled. I'm like, "Okay, I don't know. I don't know what his intentions were. I don't know if he would have ever told me that he had a family. I don't know if he would have ever told me, like, hey, that day that you met me at the hospital, I was actually not visiting a friend. but I was cutting an umbilical cord, signing a birth certificate, and naming a child. I wonder if he was ever going to say those things. The world will never know. Right. And so I was feeling super generous. I was like, why don't I do 2 story times tonight? So the second thing I wanted to tell you guys about was the best friend breakup, because it has literally been on my mind super heavy. I've been seeing lots of memes centered around best friend breakups. And so let me take a sip and gather my thoughts, especially after Hospital Bay story. Oh, I don't know if you're still tuning in, but I'm looking at my phone. Hello, Jenny. How are you? Hi, Will. How are you? And I think Kay is still here as well. So I see a few of you guys, but I see like people like exit out and came back in. So at any rate, let's talk about the best friend breakup. So this best friend breakup was absolutely devastating to me. And so I had a best friend that we absolutely did everything together. And we weren't childhood best friends, but we were best friends that, kind of got acquainted in my 20s. And when I say we did everything together, we did everything together. We went out and partied and we would drink, and we took our first shots together. And, I taught her how to drive, all of these beautiful things that make friends close. Like we would take naps. We really enjoyed our 20s together. And so I don't even remember the reason. I think that it was very, very small, but we happened to fall out. We had a big, big disagreement. I think that it was over something petty, especially since I can't remember. Or maybe I can't remember because we're trying to rekindle our friendship. But at any rate, right? Right? She said best friend. Wait, BFB happened. We grow apart and that's okay. Right? But we didn't grow apart. We did not grow apart. We actually had like a small spat. I don't remember what happened, but it was pretty big. It was pretty messy. We had a little banter back and forth via text and over the phone. It was probably over something petty. But we fell apart. And so my anger didn't just stop with me. She happened to work at our local grocery. And so my parents and my sister and my brother and my niece and nephew, we would walk to this grocery store every single day, and they would have to see her. And so when I exiled her from my life and said that we were no longer friends, that means that my family can no longer be friends with you either. And so I threatened my family, like not to speak to her, not to talk to her. When they go into the grocery store, I was like, I want you to get in her line and not speak to her. I never want you to ask her where certain groceries are. Like I was just extremely, extremely petty. And so it went petty for years, and my family felt really bad, and they would go through her line sometimes, like not out of choice and not out of compliance of being messy on my behalf, but maybe she was the only line open, and they would just like say a few words, like they would try not to give eye contact, they would try not to speak. But my sister, the ultimate betrayal, like my sister was just like would talk to her sometimes. I don't know why. She had specific orders not to, but she would. And so one day my sister came home and she was like, "Your best friend misses you." And I was like, "What? You've been talking to her?" And so she was like, "Not really, just a few words." And so after that, we kind of started to rekindle our friendship. But the reason why I really wanted to share like the best friend breakup and how petty it was and how angry it made me and this emotional roller coaster, right? I seen this meme that says that um, we should give our friends as many chances as we give our boyfriends. And so I've been seeing that float around. People are like, oh, you give your boyfriend 1,000 chances, or you gave your ex 1,000 chances. Why don't you give best friends 1,000 chances when you guys are experiencing turmoil or when you guys are fighting? And so my personal opinion is, why do we have to give either people multiple chances to hurt us? Um, I don't think that we should give our boyfriends multiple chances to hurt us, right? Because that is idiotic. I was looking for a nice word and could not find it. I absolutely find it idiotic. Like, one, two, three strikes, you're out. And depending on what you do, that strike could be three strikes in one. So I'm like, one, two, three strikes, you're out. And the same thing for friendships. Like, we shouldn't hold on to toxic friendships. It's like, why should we allow toxicity into our lives? And I feel like we're in the era where people are normalizing that. They're normalizing abuse. They're normalizing verbal abuse. They're normalizing like assault, people harming them like physically, harming them verbally, bullying them in the comments. People are normalizing mean girl mentality. People are normalizing I think they call them frenemies. Frenemies are not normal. I remember I had someone that was my neighbor forever. They were my neighbor in business. And people wanted me to normalize the catty behavior that I was experiencing from her. And I refused. And so I've been seeing this meme float around. I know that we all wanted like a light and funny story, but I really wanted to have this conversation with you guys. Um, I've been seeing this meme float around and I feel like it's such bad advice. Like, I get the idea and the hope and the heart of the meme of like what they wanted to say, but I don't necessarily agree. I don't necessarily approve of it, especially in that context. I don't think that we should give our friends 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chances. And we darn sure should not be giving the people in our romantic life that many chances. I think that you should be able to articulate and share what you need and what you want in a friendship, whether it is romantic or platonic, and that it should be respected. There should be boundaries there. There should be lines that should not be crossed. And you can create expectations. Anyone that operates outside of the realm of that should be exiled from your life. They should be removed. There is no reason why you should not verbalize that I do not like that. And so they have a quote. It's by Maya Angelou. And it says that if you accept the abuse, right? If you are abusing, you remain silent. People will lie and say you liked it. Meaning that if people continuously do these things to you and you never speak up and you say, like, why did you do that to me? People will say, like, I've always done it, right? So in defense that you liked it, like, I've always done this to you. You've never complained, and I presume that you like it. And so Monica said, toxic people show us who they are. I'm with you. I don't need to give them access to me, right? I think there was a quote. What is it? I think there's like another meme where, or a quote where they're like, fully forgiven, access denied, right? And so I fully forgive you, but access is denied. I think that we have to carry ourselves in a certain way, in a certain manner, that people take us seriously, that people know, like, hey, Angie's cool and all. Angie's funny. Angie is light, but Angie is stern. Angie is not taking your trash. Angie is not accepting your abuse. And so, yeah, I think the best friend breakup is permanent. I think it's safe to say, right, that it's permanent. I know they wanted to rekindle. I know they wanted to make this relationship better. But I don't see myself backpedaling. I don't see myself eating vomit. And I know that sounds so extreme and it's so gross, but I'm just like, I don't see myself doing that. And that's exactly the way that it feels when I think about being friends with someone that has been bad to me, right? On any scale, on any level, because um, it's like I respect myself. And I don't feel like I respect myself if I allow you to abuse me. And so I don't know if any of you guys are tuning in, rather you're watching this in live time or rather you are watching the playback. Definitely let me know if you have ever experienced, right, abuse in a friendship and decided to exile them from your life. Like, hey, you hurt me and we're done. I don't believe in like forgiveness, like over and over. I shouldn't say I don't believe in forgiveness over and over. I will forgive anyone. They say to forgive people 70 times 7, right? Or is it 70 times 70? They say to forgive them a lot, right? That is what they say. They say to forgive people a lot. But access denied, honey. Access is fully denied. The next time that you see me, it'll be on TV, it'll be on social media, it'll be on YouTube, it'll be on one of my platforms, but you will not see me, right? At a party, you won't see me having dinner, you won't see me while we're hanging out. You will not see me, right? You won't see me outside of social media. Monica said that I am consistently trimming my inner circle. I think that's really beautiful. I think that just like hair, sometimes we got to trim things. We got to make them shorter. We got to make them tight. We got to prune. We got to weed people out. I don't think people are always in your life forever. Sometimes people are just in your life for a season. And so sometimes you just have to decipher and figure out, what is that season? What is their purpose? How long is this season? How long do I need to learn this lesson? Like, all of these questions, just evaluate. And so these things are not happening. They say they're not happening to you, they're happening for you. And so I am open, right? From my mouth to God's ears. God, I am open to everything that you have for me. And so if you're watching this and you feel those words the same way I feel them, I just want you to repeat after me, like, God, whatever you have for me, I am open to it, right? I'm open to it. And so, I feel so light after that. I think this is like the most beautiful way to conclude the evening. I see Monica say, I will see you and treat you well, but I do not need to keep you on my friend list, right? So this is random. I just feel like I need to share this though. So because she said friend list, and I don't know if she meant it literal or what's the word, figuratively, or if she meant it literally. But for me, I mean it literally. So there was a time where I found myself blocking people on Facebook, blocking people on Instagram. I was just like blockity block, 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 blockity block, 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 just blocking everyone. Wanted every single person blocked and out of my life. And so most of those people that I was blocking were people that were connected to my ex. I didn't want his mom on my page. I didn't want his brother on my page. I didn't want his uncles. I didn't want anyone on his page, on my page, watching me in my new life. And so I noticed that I was living in this overflow, this place of abundance. I was living in such a beautiful place. And it didn't stop, but it started to slow down. And so I asked myself, I said, God, I said, what is happening? Like, I'm not suffering. I'm not losing money. I'm not losing sleep, but things are feeling different. Things are slowing down, and I have no idea why. And so, plain as day, I hear, unblock them, right? Unblock them and add them back. I was like, what? Unblock them, add them back. Why? And so God literally was like, I want to make a table for you before your enemies, right? But I can't make it, and I can't do it before them if you have them blocked. And this is the season that I want them to observe these things. Like, I want them to look back and see all of the glory that's on your life. And so I was like, what? If all I got to do is unblock them and add them back for the doors to open. And so many of you guys seen like that big famous TikTok that went viral because my ex didn't believe in my business. He didn't think it was a great idea. He didn't think it was brilliant. He thought it was a waste of time. And he literally did not know who would buy African things. He found them a waste. And so literally, right? I was doing well for myself, but not as well as I'm doing now. And so I literally unblocked them, mostly him. I unblocked them and I added them back. And when I tell you that God literally opened door after door after door, the places that He elevated me to news interviews and to celebrities, and I'm at the Super Bowl where literally the most expensive tickets, the most expensive box office, the most expensive placement, I was there, right? Meeting NFL players and football stars and getting autographs and at Super Bowl parties and just living my best life, living in the place of overflow. And so I literally unblocked them and added them back. And I know they're watching. I can literally see my stories. I see like, this person has viewed your story. And I'm like, you're watching. And so Monica said, living well is the best revenge, right? Living well is the best. Living well, living beautiful, living lean, right? I find myself back on the treadmill. I'm like, you know what? Um, I love my body. I love the shape that it's in. I love it in every season, but I really want to be more fit. I want to give them something else to look at, something else to talk about. But listen, it has literally been 50 minutes. I feel like Wind Down Wednesday has been, or should I say, this Wind Down Wednesday has been one of the most beautiful Wednesdays thus far. I thoroughly enjoyed each and every one of you guys. Again, if you're tuning in for the very first time and you love videos like the one that you're seeing, you can go to YouTube and type in Angie Digante. You can also follow us at Accent Styles Boutique on literally every single platform, from Instagram to Facebook to TikTok. Um, if you love the earrings that I'm wearing and you want to grab some for yourself, definitely go to accentstylesboutique.com. It has officially been a beautiful, beautiful Wind Down Wednesday. If you guys are in the Tampa Bay area and you would love to like meet me face to face, you would love to feel and see the accessories for yourself and try on some of these beautiful clothing, you can find us right in the heart of Tampa at 2742 North Florida Avenue, right in Tampa, Florida. Again, we are a mission-based boutique where a percentage of every single sale goes towards sending kids and Kenya to school, providing them with a beautiful life, enhancing their life, providing them with education and hygiene products, and all the things that people need in their essential parts of life. And so thank you guys for tuning in. Happy Wind Down Wednesday. I will see you guys next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Peace, love, and lots of African culture. I love you guys so much. Naku Panda. Bye.